Episode 94 of the Marketing Life podcast. This is Taylor Timothy, your host. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about how to 2x your business online. So basically, I did a conference, I did a workshop called Door to Door Con, and basically people love this, and I figured I'd share it here on this podcast. So guys, let's not waste any more time and dive right in. So guys, the first thing I want to go over is some of the case studies I shared on this particular workshop just to prove that what I was doing actually works. That's one of the things that's important. A lot of times people will show screenshots of all this money they're making, but the truth is they don't have the actual things to prove that it actually works. So first things first, going over a website. I worked with a particular company. They had dumped tons of money in SEO. And basically just by rebuilding their website and making sure it was properly functioning, their clicks went up by 900, their impressions went up 30,000, and their average position jumped 10. So they jumped from 42 to 32. So just by having a proper site set up, basically can increase your traffic. The next thing I want to talk about is a Google listing, making sure your Google listing is properly optimized. This particular company had 128 phone calls to their business just from their Google listing and making sure it was properly optimized. The next thing I talked about and showed a screenshot of is a company I worked with that had 0 leads and they grew it to 200% in a year. So this particular company, the strategy we were doing was giving away tons of free stuff by getting leads and then nurturing them through an email sequence. Now this particular company, we're getting leads coming in anywhere from $5 to $20. And this particular company, the next shot I showed was a screenshot on Google Paid Ads. They came to us and they had leads coming in at $80 and we cut them down to $20. This company was growing at 25%. And I show a screenshot of the actual cost per conversion coming in. These were form fills and phone calls coming into the business. And the last screenshot I showed that this particular company, the email marketing works. The emails were converting, so the traffic coming from emails was converting around 40%, getting free demos, getting more free offers, and things like that. So it was proof that email marketing actually works. So basically, in this presentation, I talk about the 7 steps that you need to actually 2x your business. So step 1 is actually just setting up your website. So there's a couple things that you need to do when setting up your website. First things first, you need to set up the proper tracking. I preach this all the time. The thing is, I couldn't have shared this data with you guys if we did not have the proper tracking set up. If you don't have tracking set up, then you're, again, just kind of shooting in the dark. The next thing is just don't custom code. So all of this information and data I shared with you was all done on WordPress templated websites. So we were getting leads coming in through these websites without having to custom code. The third thing, it was just making sure you have clear messaging. So a lot of times in your ads, when you create your ads, you just need to make sure you're very clear with the message, and on the ads as well, you need to make sure you're very clear. And this helps cut your cost per conversions down. And the next thing was social proof. So as far as social proof goes, you have to make sure that you have people backing your product and supporting you. So a lot of landing pages we use, and we always make sure there's social proof on the landing pages and social proof in the ad copy as well. And this has helped cut our cost per conversions down. And last but not least, it's mobile friendly, guys. Make sure your site is mobile friendly. If you do not have a mobile friendly website, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot and you're going to lose out on tons of leads. So make sure that it's mobile friendly. The step 2, guys, with this entire presentation was the Google listing. So one of the things with people and their Google listings, they just create them and they just kind of leave them. But just by going in and filling out all the information, this helps optimize the listing. You give Google more data, more information, it's going to help your Google listing. The next thing you have to do with your Google listing is upload all your photos, videos to that listing. So try and upload and update these photos on a regular basis. This is going to help your listing rank higher than your competitors. Then you need to link to your site. And then last but not least, guys, you need to make sure you're getting reviews. Now, if you have tons of loyal fans, I don't recommend going out there and getting tons of reviews right at once. It's better to get reviews on a consistent basis. And again, this is going to help you beat out your competition. So once you have those things set up, guys, we go on to step number 3. We talk about Facebook and Instagram ads. So Facebook and Instagram ads, obviously the cost per conversion is continuing to go up, but I promise you guys, the value is still there. You can still win, and you can still convert and scale your business through these types of ads. So there's 4 things with this step 3. The first thing is create offers. So you have to be giving stuff away for free on these platforms so people find value in you and they trust in you. So I always recommend creating free offers, give away free guides, video series, ebooks, different things like that. Whatever works for your business, there's always a way you can create free offers and bring value to people. The next thing is creating ads. I call these ads 1080 by 1080 ads. So they're a square base ad, and they have banners at the top and bottom. So I have screenshots here. You guys can go ahead and download my slide deck that I'll have in the description. But you guys can see this is what I actually mean by 1080 by 1080 ads. Again, they're a square ad, and then you put a 1920 by 1080 video in the middle, and you just run them. These types of ads, square ads, I've found increase conversion and help you guys out a ton. So the next thing with these ads, what you need to be doing is you need to be doing what's called remarketing. So anybody that comes to your website, watches your videos, engages with your content, you need to be remarketing to them about your products and services. And last but not least, I kind of mentioned this, but social proof ads. A lot of times I just take reviews and I paste them in my ads, and it helps with conversion. So step 4, guys, is Google paid ads. So you got to be running Google paid ads as well. Call only campaigns are huge. This is a way that basically if someone searches in Google and says company near me that's carpet cleaning company or something, then immediately they can push the call button and call you directly. But in this whole process with Google paid ads, a lot of times people just blast keywords everywhere. This will waste you tons of money. You need to be very specific in the terms that you're going after. Then you need to use all of your extensions. Well, basically extensions are like sub things of your ad. So if you're a carpet cleaning company, maybe it's a different subcategory of carpet cleaning, and you just have different services technically going on. There are your extensions. And then you use all the characters. So the characters, what I mean by that is Google will give you 35 characters in your headline. I try and always use all 35 characters. Now, is this possible to do every single time? Honestly, guys, no. But you try and use all of them as much as possible. And then that is going to wrap up step 4. Then step 5, guys, is nurturing your audience. Now, this is going into the email sequence type thing. Also, you can implement text follow-up as well. But basically, after people download these guides, these video series, and things like that, you start emailing them on a regular basis. And you start texting them on a regular basis, continuing to bring value to them. And then from there, they go into what I call the bi-weekly email or a weekly email, depending on what you decide to do for your business. But then they get all those emails, and then every week they get an email, or every other week they're getting an email, and you're constantly hitting them with value. Then last but not least, guys, you text them on a monthly basis as well and continue to bring value. So how this funnel works, so you guys can understand, is basically they come in through Facebook or Google. They go to a landing page and they fill out a form with their name, email, phone number. Then from there, you send them to an application page where you pre-qualify them. If they fill out this application page, you know that they're more interested. Then from there, you send them to a schedule page where they schedule a phone call. And then from there, you send them to a thank you page where you set expectations. So that's kind of how the flow of this whole process works as well with the traffic. So then step 6, guys, we go into content creation. So a lot of times what people struggle with content creation is just some ideas. So here's some ideas I want to give you that you can ask yourself and you can go create content around this. What current events are happening around you in your business? What problems are you currently facing in your business? Top 10 lists of things in your business, myths and facts of things in your business. And I promise, guys, Google's your friend. When in doubt, Google, and you will start finding tons of things and content ideas that you can have to help bring value for your customers. So that is step 6, content creation. And last but not least, step 7, guys, I put try and try again. So online marketing, guys, is trial and error. You have to let the data do the talking. You have to make adjustments accordingly, and that will help you scale your business online. The other thing is you have to be vulnerable. So the reason why I say you have to be vulnerable is you have to be putting content out there that people find valuable, is relatable, and has to be authentic, and you always have to be making adjustments. And the last thing is with trying again, guys, is A/B testing. You have to be testing things constantly against each other to see what is actually working. And another thing I want to throw in here, guys, is a lot of people need to realize if it's working, then don't break it. Guys, if it's working, let it keep going and then make small adjustments accordingly. A lot of times people will be getting good results and they're just like, you know what, we're just going to make a massive change, and that's not the right thing to do. Make small adjustments as you go. So guys, just to recap this, basically first things first, you got to have a great website. You got to have a Google listing. You got to be doing Facebook ads. You got to be doing Google paid ads. You got to nurture them. You got to create tons of content, and you got to try again. And I promise you guys, if you do these things, if you implement these things in your business, you will 2x it and you will continue to grow. So thanks, guys, for listening to this episode 94 of the Marketing Life podcast. Guys, don't forget to go over and check out my online marketing master course. If you guys want to learn how to implement what I just talked to you guys about in this podcast, you will find my entire process in my course online, onlinemarketingmastercourse.com. And it's going to show you guys everything from start to finish on how to implement this. So thanks, guys, for listening, and peace.